Hi, my name is Kira. Today we're going to be making chili lime shrimp tacos. They're very, very good and I would recommend. You're going to need a lime, some avocado, a jalapeno, some frozen shrimp, and some corn tortillas. So first you're going to want to zest your lime, and we're going to use this for to marinate our shrimp with. And with that same lime, you're going to want to cut it in half, and you're going to want to juice it and get as much juice as you can. I tried squeezing it. I wasn't getting as much juice out of it as I wanted. So once I thought I got as much juice as I could, I used my fingers to kind of smash the insides and get more juice out of it. For the other half of the lime, I was getting the same amount of juice, and instead of using my fingers, I decided to grab a spoon and basically kind of smash the insides to get more juice out of it, and it worked. I got plenty of juice and it worked really well. I did try it again on the other side, but I already got all the juice out of there, so it didn't really do as much. So once you got your lime completely juiced, you put it to the side and you want to grab your garlic. You're going to need 3 cloves of garlic to mince. And there are plenty of different ways to peel your garlic. I personally like to use a knife. Other people like to do other methods, but the easiest way for me to do it is to chop off both ends of the garlic and pull back so it peels off some of the skin, and then you're going to just peel off the rest. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. Like with the next clove, it didn't work for me to just pull it off, so I had to kind of press down hard with my knife, not smashing it completely, but just enough to where it loosens up the skin. Once it does that, I'm able to just easily pull off the skin. I did this with the last 2 cloves. It made it a lot easier, and it was a lot cleaner to do. So once you have all 3 of your cloves fully peeled, you're going to want to grab your mincer. If you don't have a mincer, that's fine. You can just finely chop your garlic, but you're going to want to press it down and collect as much as you can. It's okay if your clove doesn't fit, just chop it in half and put both halves in there. That way you can mince it pretty well. And you want to scrape off all the minced stuff and put it in a small container. So once you have minced all of the garlic cloves, you're going to want to try and take any of the excess stuff off the sides or off the top and just run those through the mincer again, because that might be some extra that the press just might have pushed to the outside, and you just want to collect that. After you've minced all your garlic, you want to grab your jalapeno, and you're going to want to chop the top off first. So once you chop off the top, you're going to want to chop it in half, and then grab a spoon of any type, and you're going to want to scrape out the inside where all the seeds are of your jalapeno. You don't have to do this, but I prefer to do it just because I don't really want any seeds in my food. Some people like to keep the seeds in, and that's totally fine. It does add spice, but yeah, I just took them out. Once you get all the seeds out and you clean off your knife, you're going to want to cut the jalapenos pieces in half and then chop them into little pieces, and then you're going to do that with both sides. I saw that it actually calls for just a quarter of the jalapeno, but I preferred using all of it because it just made it taste better, and it added a lot more flavor to it if you just had all of it instead of just a quarter of it. So now that we have our chopped jalapeno, we're going to want it to add it to a bowl and just kind of put it on the side for now. We'll get back to it in a minute. So if you have frozen shrimp, you're going to want to defrost it in a bowl of warm to hot water for about 5 minutes. If you go any longer, you could accidentally cook your shrimp, and we don't want to cook it just yet. We just want it to unfreeze and kind of defrost. So while we wait, we're going to add our jalapenos to the lime juice, and we're going to mix it together. This will add flavor to the jalapenos and kind of add flavor to our tacos at the end. You're going to want to add a little bit, like just a pinch of salt, so it makes the flavoring pop and kind of accentuate what you're tasting, and it will taste pretty good. So just stir it together, and then when you're done stirring, just put it to the side, and we'll get back to it when we start making the tacos. Okay, so you're going to want to make sure that everything's defrosted now. We have all our shells removed. Now we're going to add 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, and you're going to need that for the seasoning sticking to it better, and for when it cooks, it will help cook the shrimp perfectly. Then add your lime zest. This, you're going to want to make sure you add all of it, and you want to make sure you add all of your garlic. These 2 ingredients will give it the most flavorful taste, and it will taste pretty good. Then you want to add some chili powder. You want to make sure you add a 1/4 teaspoon of it to your shrimp, because you don't want to add too much. You don't want it to be too overpowering, but you want it to have good flavor. Then you're going to add another 1/4 teaspoon of paprika to your shrimp. This will give it some different different flavorings, and it will just taste good. Then you're going to add some crushed red peppers for some spice. So just go ahead and add that in, and it will also help with the flavoring. Then you're just going to add some salt just to also help it kind of cook. Just make sure you do a 1/4 teaspoon. If you do too much, you can never remove salt. So don't do too much salt, don't do too little, otherwise it can affect the flavoring of it all. Just make sure you toss your shrimp to combine it. I used a spoon to kind of, stir it all together to kind of make sure the ingredients got all mixed in. And then once I felt like I stirred it well enough, I went ahead and just started to toss it, but it did take me a while to get some of the ingredients off of certain pieces of shrimp. But once you're done, just give it a little toss a couple of times, and it will coat it completely. You want to get it to look kind of like it's a reddish orange color. Make sure it looks completely coated, and then set a timer for 15 minutes. You're going to let it marinate for 15 minutes. And once we get back from those 15 minutes, then we will go ahead and cook it. In the meantime, let's go ahead and make some mango salsa. So you're gonna need some mango, some cilantro, 1 lime, and a jalapeno. I personally did not use the jalapeno in this because I didn't feel I needed it. And you're gonna need 1 red onion. So we're gonna start off with the mango. Usually you should use about 1 full mango, but my family and I preferred more than just 1 mango. We did about 1.5 things of mango, and it actually tasted better. We thought it tasted sweeter, but again, it's all about personal preference. So if you prefer it to be more spicy than sweet, then go ahead and add just a full mango. And if you prefer it to be more sweet than spicy, then just add about 1.5 mangoes, and it will taste pretty good. So once you have your mango completely chopped up, you feel like you have enough, just go ahead and add it to a bowl, and just go ahead and put it to the side while we go ahead and take care of the onion. So I did not record myself peeling an onion because I did not know how to peel an onion. I had to have my dad help me with that. But go ahead and just, if you know how to peel it, and then you want to just cut it up and chop it up into little bits. Once you feel you have enough, just go ahead and add it to the bowl with the mango, or add it to a separate bowl. I added it to a separate bowl. It doesn't matter which one you do. I just felt like adding it to a different bowl. I had some leftover onion. I didn't want to use it all. So once I put it on the bowl, I went and I grabbed a Ziploc bag, and I just put the onion in the bag and kind of stored it for the next time I need it, or if I decide to make this salsa again, I have extra waiting for me in the fridge. So once you get your onion all packaged up and refrigerated, we can move on to the cilantro. Cilantro is kind of tedious. It does take a long time to kind of get all the leaves off the stem. And you want to make sure you don't have any of the stem in it because it doesn't really taste too good. So once you want to just, peel off as many leaves as you can. There are different tools to help you. I just prefer using my hands because I feel it does the best job. Once you feel you have enough cilantro, just go ahead and chop it up. I didn't make you guys watch the whole process of me peeling the leaves, because it did take a long time. So I just immediately went to me cutting the cilantro. You want to make sure you don't have any full leaves in there, because you don't want full leaves. It's not gonna go very well. So just make sure you finely chop it, or chop it to where you feel is right. I chopped it pretty finely because that's how my family and I like it. And just made sure everything looked good and there were no big leaves left in there. So I just cleaned off my knife, make sure I got as much as I could, and I went ahead and put it in the bowl with the onion, because I don't know, you could put it with the mango, or you could put it with the onion, or you could just have it all together in one bowl. I just for some reason decided to put it in 2 separate bowls. And then once you do your cilantro, you're going to want to grab your lime and just juice it into your mango. I had to use a spoon. The lime was very hard to squeeze for me, so I used the spoon to kind of loosen it up and get some juice out, and then I squeezed the rest of it. And I had to do that with both. The first half was not too easy to squeeze, so I did have to use the spoon a lot more often than with the other half. But once I got the juice out, it worked pretty well. So I use the spoon technique just because I feel like using your fingers might be a little dirty, but whatever you need to do, just use it. You can get a juicer, whatever, and just kind of do the same thing you did with your zested lime. Once you get all the lime juice out, just add your cilantro and your onion, or if it's all in one bowl, just go ahead and start mixing it. Mix it together, and I added too much cilantro, but that's okay. You can always just add extra ingredients if you add too much of one thing. So we ended up adding more mango, and it tasted pretty fine. Then we added some salt and some pepper for some extra flavoring. You don't need to do this, that's totally optional to you. You can add as much salt, as much pepper as you want. I personally think that the salt brings the mango's flavoring out. It makes the mango sweetness pop more. So now that our timer has gone off and our shrimp has marinated for 15 minutes, we're going to go ahead and cook it. But first we're going to want to make sure our tortillas for the tacos are warm, and we want them to be less stiff. We want them to be a little bit softer. So as I was opening this, the bag broke, so I had to take it to the side and open it. And with the tortillas, you're just going to want to put it on medium heat and let it kind of sit there and heat up for a bit, wait for them to get soft. Make sure you do both sides. I was able to fit 3 tortillas in my pan, but if you only do 1 at a time, that's fine. If you do 2 at a time or 3 at a time, that's totally okay. Just make sure they're as soft or as hard as you want. I don't know, whatever you prefer your taco shells to be. My family and I, we liked soft tacos, so we liked it when they're super, super soft. Once you're done with your tortillas, you're going to move on to the shrimp. Just if you have small shrimp, you can add all of them. My mom got some pretty large shrimps, so I had to remove some of them out of the pan because not all of them were able to cook properly. And that's okay, just remove them and make sure everything cooks properly. You don't want any undercooked or overcooked shrimp, because if you do, the texture is going to be weird and it's not going to taste right with all the others. And yeah, you're just going to want to let that cook for about 1 to 2 minutes. I like to cook them until I can see that the tails of the shrimp have turned pink, and then I flip them. They end up being the perfect consistency, and they don't taste fishy. They don't, they're not too hard. They're not too rubbery. They're the perfect consistency. So, you can put them in for as long as you want. Everybody has their own preference, but once they're completely cooked on both sides, you're going to want to take them off. Again, I had some extra on the side, so I'm going to have to cook those. And I didn't clean out the pan, I just left it all in there. So that way, my other shrimp could cook in the same oil as the other shrimp, had the same flavoring as the other shrimp. So I just added it in there, let it cook. It did take a bit, but it was okay. I just waited till the tails of the shrimp got pink, and I was good. So now we're going to assemble the tacos. You're going to need your jalapeno, your avocado, you're going to need your shrimp, obviously, and you're also going to want your tortillas. So once you get all that stuff together, we're going to get the avocado. So there's 2 different methods I used to get the substance out of my avocado. The first way was to cut open the avocado and take out the pit and just cut it inside the avocado. And this method is what I've been using my whole life. I haven't really used any other way, and I recently found out that you can peel an avocado. I did not know this. So that was something new. So I went and I grabbed a plate so I could try and peel my avocado, and it worked. It was really easy too, and I actually got a lot more avocado out of it than if I were to just, cut it with the peel on. So I just peeled it off, and then I just cut it on the plate in little cubes. And once I did that, I got ready to assemble my avocado. For the other half of the avocado, I did grab a spoon and I scooped it all out and I added it to the plate. It was really, I prefer using the peel the avocado and then chop it on a plate method, easier than having to get a spoon out for personal reasons, as like it was a lot easier to do it where you peel the avocado then chop it in this shell and then scoop it out with a spoon. And also it's just better, you have better pieces of avocado if you just peel it out first. But once you have peeled it, you're gonna get ready to make your tacos. So you're going to want to grab 2 tortillas, and you're going to want to place them on top of each other. I was making 2 tacos per parent, so I had to grab 4 tortillas per person. And once you want to make sure that they're next to each other, kind of back to back, so that way they can kind of hold each other's weight. So I'm just going to grab some shrimp. I grabbed about 5 or 6 pieces of shrimp and just put them in the tortillas. I know you can't really see it, but I'll do it again for the other one. And you just add your avocado and some jalapeno and add some of that lime juice. It really gives it some great flavoring, and it was pretty easy to assemble. I do like to overpack the tacos. I just think it's a lot nicer if it's got a lot of food in it, but you can always do as much as you'd like. I did too much food in them, so it was kind of hard to eat, but just do like 3 or 4 pieces of shrimp with as much as you like and you'll be good. So once you get them all kind of assembled and everything's looking good, you can just give it to whoever you want. I ended up giving these to my parents. They ended up liking it. I liked it. I did try it. It was really, really good, and it was perfect. It was like the best comfort food I've had. So, if you're just need something quick to make or something healthy, I totally recommend these. These were delicious, and the mango salsa went perfectly with this. So thank you, and I hope you enjoy.